Jeff's in. G'day, Jeff. How was the powder skiing? And Vince says he can't hear or see. Everyone else can, Vince, so it must be on your end, my friend. Yes, it will be recorded, John. Well, the system says it's being recorded, so put it that way. All right, if you can hear me loud and clear, that's great. For those who've just arrived, if you can just put your name in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Okay, good, thanks, Vince. Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you will see a chat box. It's a little bit faint. Just type your name in there and where you're from, and we'll get rolling. So Jeff says all good. So tell us, Jeff, how was the powder skiing in Japan? Okay. All righty. So let's get moving. All righty. Great. Now, have you all read the homepage of mobizviral.com? Just to give me some idea as to what you already know, what you don't know. And there's 4 points that Jeff says loud and clear. Skiing was superb. Okay, thanks, Jeff. There's 4 points that I want to make very clear before starting. And now, as this is an online lotto product which is government registered and therefore regulated, it must only be offered to family, friends, and associates, customers, and prospects who are above the age of 18, and in the turn theirs, and so on. In other words, the marketing of Lotto Spring is limited to word of mouth or social media. That is no commercial advertising. There are a number of countries whose citizens are not permitted to play Lotto, and you'll find a list of those countries at www.lottospring.com. Fortunately, Australia is not one of the countries that are not allowed. However, to leverage your marketing with Lotto Spring, it should be marketed online because it is an online product. And if you're using Mobiz Viral, it'll be marketed automatically, socially, and virally together with 6 systems which are integrated into one system. The next point is any examples of winnings or wincome. Brilliant powder. Okay. Yeah, you're making me jealous, Jeff. Any examples of winning or wincome that I may use in this presentation are only examples. They do not represent what you will win. Your winnings will be a result of your efforts and the actions that you may or may not take. Last week, I sent out an alert to you that I was alerted to by the Royal Bank of Scotland. It was their call, and I'm going to screen share that with you right now. And this is from the Australian Fin Review. The RBS told clients to sell everything, and this investor did. I happen to know the guy vaguely, and he's a mover and shaker. And it says here, Penrith businessman Owen Rogers has liquidated half of his multi-million-dollar investments portfolio to snap up stressed assets as markets head south. The 52-year-old barely batted an eyelid when the Royal Bank of Scotland told clients to sell everything. Last week, flashing the same stress alert as they did before Lehman Brothers crisis, which you saw the folding of Lehman Brothers. And in fact, the head of Lehman Brothers at that time, I believe, was Fold. His surname was Fold. So Roger started divesting his assets a little while ago, 5 rural properties. And I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to. I just wanted to use that really just to get my message to you. And my message is, if you stay to the end of this webinar, I'll show you a plan that I have for myself, because Jeff and I have had these discussions over the last 12 months, and my feelings are is that we're heading into a crisis, what the Royal Bank of Scotland calls cataclysmic. And I don't know by what degrees they think it's cataclysmic, but anyhow, what I really wanted to speak to you about is products that succeed during tough times. And I want to show you my plan so that you can see that I'm walking my talk and that I'm not full of crap. So I'll just share my screen with you, and hopefully you can all see that. And you'll see that it's a Wikipedia webpage, and that if you read it, it says that Wikipedia banknote lotto succeeded in the 1930s with what they call a very popular banknote. Now, just a moment, I'll see if I can drag this down a little bit. So, all right, let's have a look at that, see how that is. There we go. I can't blow it up any more than that. Well, let me see if I can. Share screens. All right, so share. Can you see that now? Is that any better? Probably not. Banknote was a popular fad lottery game franchise in America during the Great Depression. It was invented and marketed by Charles Yeager, a former booking agent for 20th Century Fox. And this is where Lotto took off during the Great Depression. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you something else. So if we're looking at tough times, I just show you another page. And this one is, wait for it to come up. Internet here in Bright's a little slow today. And I'll see if I can drag it down some. And so what you're seeing here, and if you go to Tats Lotto, you'll see that in 1930 December, state lottery introduced. In the late 30s, the newly elected state government led by Jack Lang decided the only course of action to save the declining funding situation in the state hospitals was to start a lotto, and it boomed. And so if you look up Tats Lotto, I'll put the link in the chat box for you so that you can actually go read it for yourself. Not now particularly, but later on. And there's the link there. So you can click on that and I'll try and get you the link also for the Fin review. Now I've put the Fin review down. But so, and what else do we have on Lotto during the Depression? Well, not so much during the Depression, but as we speak here today, and here's an article from your own home state, and that is Lotto fever as, Lotto fever is 1,000 tickets sold a minute for a 70 million jackpot. Well, last week we had a $1.5 billion jackpot. And so if you're thinking that Lotto doesn't sell, well, I think you're looking in the wrong place. The only thing that I would suggest to you in terms of marketing Lotto, and that is that you put government approved and regulated, so that it differentiates between that of the scams that are out there for Lotto where people are using Lotto as a means of trying to steal people's information. They're sending out emails to say, hey, you've won Lotto, please give us your name and email address, rah, 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 rah. Well, okay, so I'll come back to this. I'll put this in the chat box for you as well. You can have a look at that if you want. And there we go. All right, so I'll put that away. I think I've made my point, and that is that Lotto is one of the products that sales increase and have proven to increase over the previous through the previous tough times. I'll put it that way without sort of getting too much hyperbole. Also, just to show you what I'm doing, here is my own marketing for skiing. I'll just pull it down a little bit for you so you can see it. And of course, what you've got in tough times with skiing, particularly, is ski coupons, discounts. So that's what I'm doing. Jeff's well aware of this. Maricon, who's there, is well aware of it. I think a few others are as well. And so I'm just trying to scroll up there so you can see what's on the page. And this book we sell, just flicking through here. That just gives you some idea. I'll put the ski coupon book away, and I'll come now to this situation: consumers turn to coupons in tough times. Now, I'm not wanting to be the prophet of doom and gloom, but I am wanting to say this is where I'm headed. This is how and you'll notice here that it says consumers turn to coupons in tough times. So just a minute, I'll scroll that up again, and let's see if we can see it better now. And so I don't think you need to have a copy of that, but discount coupons for skiers for all the ingredients of a ski holiday. And skiers will be, when things start to get bad later, well, we don't know whether it's in the next week or the next month or I heard the forecast of October this year, but anyhow, we wait and see. I'm telling you all of this for a reason, and not for you to get negative and go. So I'll put that down, and then I'll bring up another page. And that is, this is the Wall Street Journal, and it's about couponing. Hard times turn coupon clipping into the newest extreme sport. So the headlines there, these are all recent articles. I'm not going to go on about it for too much longer because I would really want to get to the meat of this. But the other thing which we're doing, which Maricon, who's my sidekick, who's here, we are building out a mobile business directory. And this is just part of the directory. Each and every page here in this directory is SEO'd, so it effectively beats their own ranking in the Google, in the search results, the search engine results pages, so that our directory effectively ranks higher in the search engine results pages than their own website. Now, in tough times, people then say, well, it's cheaper for me to take this page in the directory because they're getting more traffic from it than I'm getting from my own site. And so they'll abandon their own site or put it on park and then go and take their listing in our directory, which, as you can see here, is, again, the mobile business directory, which is where Mobiz comes from. Okay, so I'll put that away also. So getting back to so that's my plan. My question to you is, what's your plan of action for income in such a crisis? Now, trading time for dollars, as in a job, offers no guarantee of income, as my FIFO brother-in-law recently found out. Just one moment, I'll bring the page back here. Whoops. And I'll bring it back to here for the minute. I'll stop sharing to start with. Here we go. All right. So, as I've just mentioned, trading time for dollars, as in a job, offers no guarantee of income, as my FIFO brother-in-law recently found out, and he's depressed, and he doesn't know what to do with himself, because at his age, he's just turned 60. So you can imagine how he feels. The next question is, would you risk or invest your savings at a time when you know that there's a crisis coming? And I say that because I've been watching the market for 12 months or more. Maricon can testify to that. And so the Royal Bank of Scotland, who has a big reputation, and they called it last time in the GFC in 2008 before Lehman Brothers went down the tube, and they're calling it again this time. So you really need not to stick your head in the sand, but just to take notice and say, well, how do I prepare in case there is an event that people are starting to forecast? I noticed in Jeff's email earlier on today, he said his hot Forex was going backwards instead of forwards. So I don't mind mentioning that, because he sent an email broadcast to everyone. So would you risk your investment, your savings at a time like this and lose? That means you may lose your means of survival with no job, no investment funds because they've all crashed, and in turn no credit, because in times of crisis like this, there is no credit. The next question is your money safe in the bank? Well, you can ask the Greek depositors who experienced banks locking them out of access to their funds. You may remember the run on the Australian banks in 2008 when the GFC started. Australia's not immune. In fact, we're extremely vulnerable at the moment. And but there is a solution to the banks, and I'm not prepared to talk about it right now. It's quite complex, and I haven't finished doing my due diligence on it. Your only safeguard to all of this is to develop multiple streams of passive income, or wincome if you want to call it that, using Mobius, Varo, Folotto. A wincome to at least cover your current living expenses, because I believe we don't have a lot of time to prepare, which means if you want to be able to survive through this, and then you need to be prepared now. And again, I might sound like I'm a prophet of doom, but the only source of income that you can get right now, or start preparing for right now, is a passive source of income with Mobius, Varo, Folotto. A wincome to at least cover your living expenses, because we don't have a lot of time, as I said a moment ago, to prepare. Shortly, I'll show you a plan where you will not have to pay from your own funds. Plus, you will have developed a great list to market other products and services. But if the RBS call is incorrect, you're still way ahead. Now, I was talking to a guy who is from WA last night, and he was singing my song, but more particularly singing my song about a list. Now, here's a short but true story about building a list. Some of you may have heard about it, heard me mention it before. I mention it quite often. I have the bank statements to prove it, and I have people who can testify to it. Here's the story. A few years ago, I developed the second largest domestic tour company in Australia. That's according to the Domestic Airlines Group sales. I did it by developing a list of 76,000 people, with reps going out to clubs, groups, and associations, presenting a slideshow of my tours, and collecting the names and mailing address of those attending the group meeting. Later on, I crafted a powerful sales letter and snail mailed it at the end of January each year. And the first batch of 10,000 was prepared by stay-at-home mums. Because the envelopes had to be hand addressed. If you don't believe me, with putting printed labels on an envelope, go and stand outside a post office box anywhere, and you'll see all of those with printed labels stuck on the envelope are in the junk. In this case here in Bright, it'll be a cardboard box. In the States, it's a canvas shipper, where people throw their junk mail. So my point is this. So I crafted a powerful sales letter, snail mailed it to the first 10,000 on my list. They were what I call the golden list. It was prepared by stay-at-home mums, hand addressing the envelopes and adding a live stamp. They were folding and inserting the letters. And the result, I booked out my tours and accommodation for the entire year and banked 1.34 million in sales. And I did that for many years in a row. For Mobiz Viral subscribers, as soon as you've built your list to 10,000, I'll show you a way to grow that list from 10,000 to 20 to 30, 40, 50,000 within a month. And that I can testify to. But we got to it's like a plane taking off. It uses all of its energy in taking off, more so than it does at any other time in the flight. And likewise, building a list of 10,000 is where it takes all the energy. Once we got up to 10,000, we're cruising. All right. So the idea being, it's like having a printing press. The person I was speaking to last night is from Perth, and he had a list at one stage of 10,000. I think he said 10,000. And he's about to come on board with Mobiz Viral. And he agreed. It's like having a printing press for money. If you're a bit short on cash flow for the month, you just fire up your list with a great offer, an offer of exceptional value, and watch the dollars roll in. My point that I'm trying to make here is that once you have a list, particularly for such a broad market like Lotto, you will generally have those same people be interested in another broad market, like dog food. Okay. Skiers is a totally different story. There's the Australian market as skiers and snowboarders in Australia are only about 4% of the population, so it's a harder list to market to, or a harder market to build a list with. Alrighty. So any questions so far? And I'm going to open up the chat box again and just have a look and just check. Any questions this far? Because now I'm going to get started into the marketing now that I've really covered what's in front of us, what the environment looks like for the next 12 months. Okay. It seems that there aren't any, but I'll keep my eye on it as I'm speaking. All right, now quick and elementary, I'm going to ask you a few questions here. It's a bit of a marketing quiz just to see what you do and don't know. So my question is, what does any business need to any business, whether it's a physical business, any type of business at all, and that includes ProSpring, which is effectively a business. What does any business need to stay in business? Now, Gary Halbert, a famous copywriter who's since passed away, Halbert was one of the best known copywriters. He charged an enormous amount of money. He said that his copy could be as bad as anyone else's, but as long as he had a targeted audience, what he called a starving crowd, he would make more sales than everyone else. Yeah, there goes John. Customers. Well, first of all, you've got to have the audience before you can get the customers. So, and an audience preferably who know, like, and trust you before you can make sales. The bigger the audience, the greater the sales. And the more they know, like, and trust you, also the greater the sales. So what I'm saying there is a list of, can we get into the system? Yes, you can. I've just got a couple more questions to get onto, and then I'll get into the marketing system and how it works. All right, so bear with me for 5 minutes. What is the best type of marketing? The best type of marketing is word of mouth. You can look it up anywhere on the internet, and you will find that it's word of mouth marketing or referral marketing. And you can increase the rate of referral by incentivizing your list. And that's important because the system actually, now Vince can't hear me. Okay. I'm sorry, Vince. Can everybody else hear me? Maricon says refresh your browser, Vince. Okay. And what I'm talking about right now is basic stuff to the system. And if you don't cover these, earlier on, there were a number of people who thought the system would just go and find the people. Well, I'm sorry, the system will go and find the people by referral, and the system will only be as good as your list. Because bear in mind, in this situation, we cannot use paid advertising, commercial advertising. If you do, well, you'll be looking to get clobbered by probably the ACCC. So, alrighty. So you can increase the rate of referral by incentivizing your list and making it easy to recommend you and your product to their people. Now, we already know that the average Australian has, and if you don't, if you go to Statista, I'm just going to type this in the chat box. You go look this up yourself. www.ista.com. And you'll find in June of this year, Statista.com said that the average Australian has 300 Facebook friends. And if just 30 of those 300 shared it with their friends, you'd have 30 sharing with each of their 300 friends. So you'd have an audience of 9,000 people. And if just 10% of that 9,000 people, that's 900, shared it with each of their 300 friends, you'd have 270,000 people. And you haven't paid a cent for advertising on pay-per-click or any form of online marketing. Because you can't. Because the rules and regs, the Australian government rules and regs clearly state that you can recommend it, but you can't use commercial marketing. Now, to do that and to get to such big numbers, you would need a system. You would need a system that is automated, socially viral system to leverage this for you. Otherwise, you would never deal with such growth. But you have to have a seed list. In other words, no point having a Ferrari if there's no fuel in the tank. So you need a seed list to kickstart the system, the virality, the people to refer their friends, and depending upon the sales volume that you require, just like any business, they would then have a sales organization of reps, affiliates, call them what you will. So if they're a brick and mortar business and they're offline marketing, they will have reps on the road. Now, because this is an internet product and most networkers have little to no internet marketing knowledge, I didn't say all, I said most. The Mobiz viral system has been made highly duplicatable, and once set up and it's seeded with the seed list, it's 95% set and forget. That is until the leads start rolling in. But first, you've got to seed it with your seed list. And so I want to digress just a little bit here and explain to you, just a minute, let me find the slide for this. All right, I'll pull this up and I'll share it with you so we're all on the same page. Again, the internet is horribly slow here today. I don't know what the problem is. And come on. Alrighty, I'll wait for that to come up. Give me a new page. Why the hell? And I don't want that either. All right, just a minute, please, guys. I'm sorry about this. If I didn't know better, I'd asked if our server was down. Sorry about it, guys, but anyhow, it doesn't look like I'm going to get it. Anyhow, I'm going to assume that you all know how the 6 social circles work. I'm waiting on Mobiz Viral for the webinar to pull Mobiz Viral up. It's not happening right. Oh, there it goes. Fantastic. And just a minute, and I'll screen share with you. Share. All right. And I want to go to this page, /webinar. That'll take. I'm going to assume that you know how the 6 social. Here we go. Thank God for that. All right, that's the slide I was looking for. Here are the 6 social circles of Lotto Pro Spring or Lotto Spring. They're both. So in the first circle, you have 5 people, and then you have 25, and so on, and so it keeps on multiplying itself. So in the first circle here, you need, because you are talking to marketing people and you need a strong team, the people that you should be looking for to put in this first circle are existing marketers. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that you, develop your list, that is your seed list, irrespective of what size it is, whether it's 500 or whether it's 1,000 or 1,500 or whatever. Go through the list and look for the 5 people that you think have big lists and those lists are current. In other words, those lists are active. And of course, I had a person the other day upload a list. I'm not going to mention names, and the people on the list was a couple of thousand, and they hadn't been mailed for 4 years. They hadn't been emailed for 4 years. Now, clearly, that's just a tad better than a cold list. And so you won't get a great deal of response from a cold list. You know, I can go and get the telephone book and, you know, or you can go and get Australia on disk and get all the businesses in Australia on a disk. But the businesses don't know you. So you're going to get a very low percentage conversion rate. So the best way to create your list, there's 3 areas from which you need to create your list, where you'll build your list. That is your email platform, whatever you're using, whether it's doesn't, whether it's Gmail or Yahoo or Big Pond. Big Pond is not so great. So download your contact list from your email provider, then download your contact list from your mobile phone, and then download your contact list from each of your social media platforms. That is, and I'll go through them again, and that's Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and I probably forgot a few as well. And go through it and look for about 10 to 15 people who have some sort of marketing savvy, particularly a list. So the purpose of that is that you want to be able to help them help these 5 guys in here, each get their 5 guys, which makes 25. So it's 5 and 25, and you finish up with a team of 31 people. At that point in time, you should start pulling the trigger on your mailing list. So that what you get from your list, this is you here. Hopefully you're seeing me. Yes, you are, from your list. And that these 5 guys will get 10 to 15 from their list, which will become each of them will amount to 25. So what I did in the first instance, I made a list of people that I thought would be helpful, would be good marketing for me. And I got my 5 in on the first day. Now, all right, not all of those 5 converted when Lotto Spring went live. So then I had to go dig around and get another 3 or 4 people. And again, so for yourselves, now that Lotto Spring is live, just get the guys in who can see the potential, who knows how the marketing system works. And I'm going to explain the marketing system to you in just a moment, or how the Mobizz Viral system works. So what you need to be doing is you need to be looking for your 5, and they need to be looking for their 5. The moment you have all of those lists collectively, not that they are amalgamated into one list, but let's assume that each of these 31 people had a list of 1,000, just to make the math easy. You would have a seed list in 31 different systems of 31,000. Now that's important, and I'll come to that shortly as to why it's important. Because if you want to fill your, well, I'll tell you now, if you want to fill your 6 social circles, you need to have 19,530 to be exact, if you add up all these numbers. You need to have that many people in your collective social circles. Now, these 6 circles here are yours, as you can see. And of course, there will be another social circle out here for these 5 guys. And likewise, there will be another social circle out here, the 6th, 7th, 8th social circle for these 25 guys here. But the moment you all pull the trigger on your email marketing, which is included in the everyone in the system has an order in the Mobizz Viral system has an autoresponder. Those autoresponders are preloaded with pre-written emails. The only emails that we ask you to write is the first and second email to your seed list, because you know these people and your tonality of your email is very important. Otherwise, the emails which we have preloaded into the system might seem a little cold and distant. So hopefully all of that makes sense to you. All right, just let me get a mouthful of water and I'll keep going. So if you can imagine yourself and your 5, and each of them with their 5, you now have a seed list of some, hypothetically, 31,000. And if you were to fire off those 30 emails to those 31,000 every 2 to 3 days, you would find that this 5 would have their people coming in, which would drop down here into these levels here. And so now they're fully motivated because they're seeing action. But what happens is that this type of marketing stalls when nobody sees action, because they think they're the only ones doing any work, and they probably are. So that's why I'm suggesting you get your 5 people in first. They get their 5 people, then you pull the trigger on your autoresponder, and depending upon how many the collective seed lists make up, whether it's 31,000 or 20,000, whatever, then you'll start to see activity of people falling down in here. Now, one thing that I wanted to clarify, which I don't believe most of you understand, and that is that your Facebook page needs to have activity on it. And the first lot of activity is activity from the people you know. And they need, and there's a saying which has been around for donkeys with Facebook marketing, and that is like, comment, and share. 3 magic words, write them down. They're all important, but the first and the easiest one is the like. The second easier with the greatest count is comment. And if you're not in there commenting, then they're looking to the host. Where's the host of this site? He's not, he or she's not here. There's no one active on this site, so they never come back. They never come back. So we can be posting, as we currently are, to everyone's Facebook page, but I've had a quick look through some of them today, and you guys are not being active on your page. So what happens? We're just spinning our wheels, wasting our time. So let me explain how Facebook works. You've got people that you bring in from your seed list into Facebook. They will comment and share on the posts which we're making every day. And if they comment, like, and comment, what will happen is that Facebook will see that there is activity on that Facebook page, and they will increase what's called your edge rank. All edge rank simply means is, and I'm not going to go into the technicalities of it, is that there's a community developing on this page. And if your page is about lotto and someone does a search for lotto, and my girls are putting up posts on your page every day, viral posts, news posts, etc., 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 and people are commenting, then Facebook picks that up with their algorithms, and when someone does a search for lotto, guess whose page comes up? So now not only are you getting people from referral, but you're getting people from search as well. But not only does Facebook pick it up, Google organic search picks it up. So my point is this: get your 5, help them get their 5, get the communities happening, get the email marketing happening, and then you'll get picked up by Facebook and found in Facebook searches, but you'll also likely get picked up in Google searches for lotto as well. So hopefully, now the other point that I haven't made quite clear as yet, whatever this 5 get and put in here or here or here or here belongs to everyone in the 6 social circles. Whatever these 5 here or these 25 in this social circle get, they all get, the ones below all get the benefit of it. So these 5 here bring in 5 apiece. So that the one person of this 5 brings in his 5, he has his own leg, just like you see here. So he's got his own social circles that start with 5. One person of this 5 I'm talking about will then have 5. So if one of these 5, and I'll put it to you this way, if one of these 5 guys here go to sleep, then this guy here in the orange will only have 4 of his 5 legs working. And so he won't be able to fill his 6 social circles. Did you get that? So if one of these 5 here go to sleep, this guy was going to have a leg in the matrix which is not filling. So hopefully you understand that. So anything that all of these 5 get, it benefits everyone in their social circles below them. Okay, so the idea being is that if this one of these 5 here went to sleep, you would then have to go run around. Now, the point that I also wanted to make here, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but it was said just pre-Christmas that if one of these 5 cancel for whatever reason, then ProSpring will allow you to find another person to put into that position and start growing that that leg, that 1 of 5 position. So if you were to draw out these 6 social circles, you would see what I'm talking about. Alrighty. So why all the buzz about getting 5? So here you are, you get 5, and each of those get 5. That's why I had this logo created. Now you have a team of 31. So what's so big and wonderful about Lotto or ProSpring? You receive winning bonuses on up to 19,530 people in your social circles. For those that you personally introduce, you get an amount equal to 10% of their winnings, not from their winnings. It's a bonus paid by the company, not out of the winnings. For the ones that you don't personally introduce, which will be the majority, you get an amount equal to 5% of their winnings. This is proving to be not anywhere near as successful, but it's still money coming in. But it's not proving to be anywhere near as successful as the guaranteed to win bonus blitz tickets. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL here, and you can go read this page. Whoops, wrong one. You can go read this page at your leisure. It's more of a training page than a sales page, but I'm putting it in here anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go over a little bit about what the blitz tickets are. I got an email earlier on today. Jeff's been skiing in Japan, and whilst he's been away, his daughter wins $300 on blitz tickets. Now, how does it work? It's a little bit complex, but I'm going to go into it. Plus, you receive guaranteed to win bonus blitz tickets. So you don't have to have 6 social circles full, but it helps because you finish up with a 5-star ranking. So for it, effectively, I'll go through it here. Earn more blitz points and tickets. Earn more points for all ProSpring members in your social circles. Earn between 200 and 600 points per player. I'll explain that in a minute. You also get a free lotto ticket giveaway per game, and there's 8 games in a 4-week period, so you finish up with 8 tickets for the period, and that is what's in the viral system. As also, other than the 2 ebooks, there's also the free lotto ticket inside the viral system as to incentivize people to share in the viral system. To access ProSpring ranking system, win even more, you can build your team and earn so many points, you'll be the luckiest, So if you have, as a ProSpring member, which is 66 euros a month, and you have 1 star, and I'll explain how you get that in a moment, you get 200 points for every person that you did not personally introduce who's in your social circles. You get 400 points for every person that you personally introduced, who's in your social circles. Now, every 300 points that you accrue, you get a blitz ticket. So, for example, and I won't go through all of these, but it's all incremental. If you had, and I'll show you the qualifications here in a minute. So, 1 star, you've got to have 5 direct referrals and 50 in your social circles. And incrementing up to 5 star, you have 100 direct referrals and 500 in your social circles. Now, with Mobiz Viral, that shouldn't be hard to do if you started off with a decent seed list. So at 5 stars, you're getting 300 points for those that everyone in your social circles that you didn't introduce, and 600 points for those that you did personally introduce. Okay? So coming down to here, and I won't go through this in fine detail, but bottom line is if you had your 6 social circles full, and this isn't a perfect world, so I doubt that anyone will have, because there'll be blank spots throughout, but let's assume that you had your 6 social circles full, you personally introduced 700 of them, times 600 points, you'd have 420,000 points. And for those that you didn't personally introduce, you'd have 18,000. You'll notice 700 and 18,800. That comes to 19,500. You get 300 points for those, which means that you'd have 5,649 points. And for that, if you divide that by 300, as I said before, 300 points for to get every Blitz ticket, you would finish up with 20,230 Blitz tickets. 20,000 Blitz tickets. Now you can look at the site at your leisure. Now every Blitz ticket is guaranteed to win. So, and you'd have, they won't all be the same numbers. They'll all be varying numbers because the order bot will spit them out with all different numbers. But if you have a ticket with no matching numbers, you get €1. If you have a ticket with 1 matching number, you get €3, and likewise 2 matching numbers, €10, 3 matching numbers, €100, and if you have 4 matching numbers, you get €1,000. And if you're really, really lucky and the gods are smiling on you, and you have 5 matching numbers out of 5, you'll finish up with €50,000 on that Blitz ticket. But if you got 20,230 tickets, here's the percentages that you're likely to win. Now, I'm not going to go through it all. You can have a look at the page yourself at your own leisure. But here's the odds. 54% will have no matching numbers, 33% 1 matching, 11% 2 matching numbers, 1.8% will have 3 numbers. And if you tally all of that up, that comes to €130,000 monthly, providing those odds work. And I database the numbers every week to keep an eye on what the percentages are. Plus, you'd have 20,230 chances of winning 50 grand, notwithstanding the fact of what you would get in the 5% and the 10% back up here. Now, is it hard to fill 19,530 numbers? People in your social circles? Well, you think about it. What percentage of your database what size database would you need to have to fill your social circles if you had the time, and you don't, and it would be totally impossible. But if you had, so you got your end result is 19,500 people. That's what you want to convert with yourself and your team. So what's a fair conversion number? Now, if you're working straight on email and no other form of communication, and just opt in straight away from the email, you probably get a 1% response if you got lucky. But the way we operate with the viral system, and I'll show you the slides for that in a minute, you'd probably get a high percentage, around 3, 4, 5%. And if you then had some interaction with them on your Facebook page, and you got to know, the people got to know, and trust you through your interaction with them on your Facebook page, you probably get 7, 8, 9, 10%. But if you were to visit them personally, the average salesperson is, and this is just a number that everyone knows in the sales industry, 1 in 3 presentations. 1 in 3 presentations will get you a sale. If you're a poor performer, 1 in 4. If you're a good performer, 1 and 2 will get you a SAR. 1 and 2 presentations will get you a SAR. So I struck a conversion rate of 7%, which I thought was lowballing it. And if you had to get your 6 social circles full with a team, you would need, if 19,500 is 7%, what is 100%? Well, you sit down with a calculator on that's pretty quick and easy. 100% is going to be around about 300 to 310,000. That's what you would need in your collective database to fill your 6 social circles. And as a consequence, because everyone, so what do we need to do? We need to build everyone in your team of 31 to a list of 10,000. That's the goal. So now collectively we have a database or a list of, for each team member, of 10,000. There's 310,000 straight away. Now, will that fill perfectly? Probably not. You might do it in a little less. You might do it, might take a little more, but that's roughing it out for you just so you can see. But if you were to do it on your own, I would have a bet today, and I wouldn't get very good odds, probably less than even money. You would never do it on your own. But coming back to what I said previously, you simply need at this short lead time that we have, you just need enough to produce income for you in the case of a crisis. Now, you might think that that is a huge amount of money, but it's not. I finished telling you just a moment ago, I had a list of 10,500 people, of 76,000 people, that the lowest amount I banked from that snail mail was $1.34 million. So I'm trying to give you a comparison here. And that if you then decided to sell dog or cat food, or you decided to sell some other product that was symbiotic with your existing mailing list, and as I also said, once you get to 10,000, I can show you a way, not probably, I will almost guarantee a way that I can have that list turn into 20 or 30 or 40,000 within a month. Now you really are printing money. So this isn't all about Lotto Spring in the first instance. It's about internet marketing, building your list. That's what it's about. So let me take you through these slides here. And of course, we're watching analytics all day, every day, to see what's working and what doesn't work. So the page outside your Facebook looks like this. This one here on the left-hand side. This is a video here of a so-called newscaster who's about to get replaced. And this is what's in it for them. All they've got to do is add their first name and email address. Please send me my free ebook. And the free ebook is, there it is there. That's outside Facebook for a reason, because it's mobilized. The page inside Facebook looks like this. So first of all, it has a cover shot, and they can click here to sign up, or they can come down here with free report reveals how to play Lotto for free and win. They simply add their name and their email. They can see what the plus points are on all of this. What it reveals, the video is talking, it tells them what to do, and so that gives them the flavor. So once they've filled in either one of those two, just a minute, I'm just checking to see if you can see the pages. Yes, you can. Once they've filled in either one of these two here, then they get pushed through, just a minute, scrolling down. Then they get pushed through to this page here, which offers them the second ebook, How to Explode Your Lotto Winnings with Team 31. They don't have to enter their details again. It just says, yes, please. Hopefully you can all see that. Yes, you can. The moment they click that button, they get pushed through to this page here with this hover. And what happens is it says to get the free ebook, simply share it with the first ebook with 3 people. And so they click, and they can do it in any one of these social media platforms. They can click on Facebook, and let's assume for the moment that they clicked on Facebook, and they may have Twitter, and they may have Google Plus, and they may have LinkedIn, and they may have Pinterest. But let's assume for this exercise, and they can sit here and do the whole lot if they so wished. So they click on Facebook, and what happens if they're not already logged into Facebook, what will happen is that this will pop up on their screen asking them to log in. The moment they log in, they're given this system, the viral system creates a unique link for this particular user who's just put his name and his email address in. So that link is tied to that person's name and email address. And if they chose to fill in all of these sites, that link would be the same. And then it posts on their Facebook page, and here's what the post looks like. And the conclusion is that this person who's trying to get the second ebook could bring in 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 30, 40 people, depending upon the quality of their list. But he only needs to get 3. But once he's got his 3, so what happens? The first one of his friends downloads the first ebook, and he gets an email automatically from the system that says, congratulations, your first friend has just downloaded the first ebook. You've got 2 more to go. Likewise, when the second friend downloads the first ebook, he gets another email. Likewise, when the third person has downloaded the first ebook, he gets an email that says, congratulations. Here is the link. Your third person has just downloaded the first ebook. Here's the link to download the second ebook. So he goes off and downloads the second ebook. And then he gets another email to say, hey, would you like a free lotto ticket? All you have to do is get 2 more friends. And if you're one of the first 8 for the month, you'll get the free lotto ticket. Now, the beauty of the free lotto ticket is that they have to register with Lotto Spring within their details, because if they win a prize, Lotto Spring wants to know who they're paying it to, and so they can verify that it's the right person. So now this person who has got the second ebook has now got 2 more people, and so now he's registering inside Lotto Spring. And if his ticket doesn't win, and of course the system is totally transparent, because the lotto numbers are not drawn by Lotto Spring or Pro Spring, they're drawn by Euro Millions, which is quite independent from Lotto Spring or Pro Spring. So now he's inside. If his ticket doesn't win, the chances are that he's going to sign up and pay 66 or 33 euros. But if you follow him up, the chances are a lot greater. Now, how do you follow him up? That's for another day. But that is in the back office. You will see who has signed up and who hasn't signed up. But just let me show you something. This is a girl that said, I've only got 21 people on Facebook. What do I do? So I gave her some instructions what to do. And you'll see this is her Facebook page. And just a minute. Again, the internet is horribly slow. So this week she has reached, look, you see it climbing here. She's reached 426 people. Now, I know that John Wast sent out an email earlier on in the week to everyone. And I'm going to show John's site because he's already told everyone. And I'll show you his site. Now, John started with a small list. And Hopefully it won't take too long to pull up. Now, John, the only thing that John has to do is watch his page every day and come in here and make some comments, because our people, my social media specialists, are making these posts on the site for John. All right, come on, climb up, climb up, climb up. 583 for the week. And of course, if John wanted to invest some money, which is probably not kosher, because you're not allowed to have any commercial advertising, so he could boost the post. He could look down through any one of these which had the most, just by going to have a look at the stats, and he can decide which of these posts he wants to boost. Now, so these are the posts that are being put in by our team, by my team. But if you have a look over here, guess what? Same posts. So what my girls are doing, the social media specialists, they're looking for viral content, stuff that's going viral, and then posting it on Facebook. I'm not going to go into the mechanics of it, the technical side of it, but this is what Terry got when she started with just 21 people, and this is what Wassie's got. Now we're just getting warmed up. My goal is to get this to 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 posts per reach on your post, maybe 10,000 reach on your post every week. That's my goal. But like I said, when you're in an aircraft taking it on the runway, ready to take off, you're going to use your most energy starting up until you get up to cruising speed. Get up to altitude and cruising speed. All right, so what does all of this cost? Because remember what the benefits are. A, you're building Lotto Spring. You're building, more importantly, you're building a list. You're getting an income from Lotto Spring, and mainly from the Blitz tickets. Just a minute, I'll just check if, yeah, I put it in, good. Mainly from the Blitz tickets. But the big factor is, and I don't see that person here tonight, he said he was going to be here, and he had a list of almost 10,000. And like he said to me last night, like you said, Neil, I just needed to fire up, create an offer, fire up my list, providing it represented great value. Yeah. Providing it represents great value, fire up your list when you get to 10,000, then we'll take it to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 quite easily. And then you could, in a situation to go and sell cat food, dog food, any of that sort of stuff, I will have an affiliate program for my Mobiz directory as well. And you earn monthly income on the Mobiz directory. Every time someone pays for a listing in the Mobiz directory, whether it's they get a free listing to start with, whether it's $19 a month, you get a 20% of whatever they pay. There's 4 levels: $19, $37, $59, or $97 a month. You get 20% of that every month. But you got to be talking to businesses. So, and then there are other things that you can be involved in. There is another form of marketing that I'm not going to go into right now, which is one of my favorite forms of marketing. Why? Because I've used it previously to great success, and that's called appreciation marketing, and that is sending greeting cards to people. Okay, so but once you have the list, you've got the printing press for your for income, and it doesn't matter whether it's Lotto Spring or whether it's some other broad niche product that everyone uses. And so greeting cards are a broad niche product. And so you can use the system for that, to simply mail your people, use your autoresponder for that, to simply mail the people that are on your list with another offer. But they'll be more responsive to you if you interact with them inside your Facebook page, because they'll get to know, like, and trust you. They'll realize then that you're not a scammer. Okay? So how do you get started? That's the bottom line to all of this, and we're 12 minutes over the hour, and I tried to keep it shorter than the last time, which was a bit over an hour. So how do you get started in the system? Well, obviously, if you understand what's in the system, an autoresponder with, say, Infusion, a smart autoresponder with Infusionsoft or for 10,000 plus, because I don't know if you understand autoresponders. I'm assuming you don't. Probably the best way to be. I'll assume you don't know autoresponders. They're horribly tedious to set up and get running. And once you do, the list that you have, so if you have unsubscribes or about emails that hard bounce, I'm not going to get into all the mechanics of it. All of those people that you entered into your list, whether they're active or not inactive, if they've unsubscribed, all count to the total of the database on your autoresponder. So, for example, let's say you have 10,000 active, and you might have 2,500 inactive on your autoresponder. So you now have 12,500. And so the normal step levels for autoresponder fees is 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, and the next level up is 25,000. And so you would find that the 10 to 25,000 level will cost you, with Ontraport, it'll cost you around about $250 a month. For Infusionsoft, it'll cost you about, I think it's $530 a month for that level. For the cheaper ones, which are not so good in terms of being able to manipulate them, and yes, they get down to $150 a month, US dollars I'm talking about. So then you've got to have people to write the copy for you, write your emails for you, develop your leads, but at least you've got the list. And so Mobizviral is $197 to get it set up. It's about 3.5 hours work for us in total, with setting up your Facebook page, setting up your external page, setting up the viral system for you, setting up your autoresponder, and then importing your list. All of that work takes us about 3.5 hours, sometimes longer. And so $197 US to set the system up for you. It's a one-time payment, and here's how it works. To get started today, you, the leaders, game plan is, there are 66 euro subscribers only, because the 33 euro subscribers for Lotto Spring don't have the Blitz tickets, nor the multi-win bonuses, which I showed you earlier, which are 5 and the 10%. So, and of course, with the 66 euros Pro Spring, you get 8 free Lotto tickets, which is part of the viral system. And the Mobizviral system also uses 2 ebooks plus the free promo Lotto tickets as incentives to motivate people to share. And of course, so how do you get started? So you must have a seed list of 500 friends minimum. If you had a seed list of 400 really close friends, people that you're in constant contact with, who know you well, 400 would be fine. It'd probably be far better than a list of 700, almost cold leads. So you pay Pro Spring 66 euros. I've converted all this to US dollars. That's $72. You pay Mobis Viral $1 for a trial. But we have to set it up. That's €1 for a 15-day trial. But we have to set it up for you. And the setup fee is non-refundable or transferable. Even changing it from one person to another is nearly, you're better off to pull the whole thing down and start again. That's 197 euros. US dollars. That comes to $270. And you'll be set up as a leader within 24 hours, excluding Saturday and Sunday. So by day 15, you should be in the money. Your viral system brings in minimum three new people within 15 days. I mentioned to you what I suggested to do there is to make a list of 10 to 15. So your monthly lotto entry is now free to play. So you're not got your hand in your pocket. Each new person you bring in gets the same deal as above, for which you receive 100 of the 197 setup fee for each new person accepts the above plan. And that for these three people, you would get 3 times 100 US dollars. That'd put $300 in your PayPal account immediately, plus you'd have the 66 euros refunded. So you'd finish up with ProSpring Lotto free to play, and the Mobis Viral has funded itself. You now have 300 in your PayPal account, plus a refund of 66 euros from ProSpring. That's a total of $370 that you would have in credit, and that funds your Mobis Viral monthly subscription of $197 on the 15th day. Your leaders will never cancel because the lotto is free to play, and the leaders will never cancel Mobis because without it, they wouldn't be getting commission on the setups, and they wouldn't be which is making them a monthly profit. And the Mobis Viral is filling their social circles, so why would they cancel if they're not paying anything? So, and providing they're bringing in new people. And of course the system, if they've started off with a reasonable sort of list, will keep on getting them new sign-ups in the Mobis Viral. I won't say daily, weekly, monthly, depends on the individual, of course. So to get started, simply press the button below. You've got the link to this page. Any questions? All right, I'll just go back over here. Any questions at all? There's a bit of a lag on Google Hangouts, so I'll just wait for a while, see if there's any questions. So, Maricon, if you're still there, just give me a question. You know, ask me what day it is. I just want to see what the lag time is. John was posted one earlier. Just a moment, I'll go look for John. What does post reaches mean in our Mobis fan page? Post reaches simply means that the post on that fan page, all of those posts collectively, reach that many people. It's no different to television, radio, that sort of thing. They talk about reach, how many people viewed it. So once you start building a bigger and bigger and bigger audience, your reach will go up again. And so as your reach increases week by week, so will your conversions or the people who want to download the ebook. The monthly subscription to which one? To Mobis or to ProSpring? The ProSpring monthly subscription is 66 euros per month. Without being in ProSpring, you won't get the two bonuses. That is the Blitz tickets, pardon me, and that is the multi-win, which is the 10 and 5%. In terms of Mobis Viral, both, okay. In terms of Mobis Viral, You need an autoresponder. You need someone to research and post your viral content, which is done by real live social media specialists, plus a whole heap of other stuff. Someone to create your page for you and maintain the site, the Facebook page. That's $197 per month. After the one-time setup fee of 197 US dollars. I'm still there. Looks good. Okay. Just looking for any other questions there. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Yeah, it's pretty easy, Nigel, if you're still there. If someone posts a comment or makes a comment, of course, the criteria that you're really looking for inside Facebook is to get them to share. So, but if you're communicating with them inside Facebook, then that monthly is covered from winnings once up and running. Yep, exactly. So effectively, as I've mentioned earlier, way up in the start of this presentation or the webinar, and that is, once you've got your system up and firing with a good seed list, then you should never have to put your hand in your pocket, because your lotto is free to play, and your Mobiz Viral should be bringing you new people into Mobiz Viral every month. And so in that case, who's going to cancel? So hopefully that answers your question, Ty. Or is that thank you? Okay. In talking with coders, I'm brief. With Maricon, a TY page is a thank you page, right? All right. So the beauty of that is, in sort of the coming with what is being forecast by some very credible organisations, i.e. the Royal Bank of Scotland, once you've got it up and running properly, and it takes a little bit of time to get there, you should never have to put your hand in your pocket. You should always be looking at your income, which you can download from Lotto Spring straight to your bank account, normally within 4 hours. I think they said it was. Okay, your name's Ty. I used to deal with an Asian guy whose name was Ty that way. Okay. So you should, and that's the sort of plan you need for in tough times, where you never have to put your hand in your pocket. What comes in is pure profit. That's the way you need to be working it. But the big thing is I mentioned earlier, and that is you now have a list that will virtually print money for you on demand. That's the biggie. And providing, of course, you've got a broad type of niche product, a broad niche product. And of course, the example earlier on was cat food or dog food. That's a very broad niche product. Okay. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And talk to you next Wednesday night and with your people. Okay, then bye for now. I'll call it quits at that. I don't see any more questions coming in, so I'll sign off with that. Okay then. Okay, John, bye for now. Bye, everyone.